Welcome to Cannon Fodder TV. This is the big Sunday show. I'm joined by Richard, CM War Games, and we're going to be discussing the game on Thursday against Zurich and a few other little bits. But just bear with us after this short intro. So, Richard, how are you? Okay?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Just finished work a couple of hours ago, so now nice and relaxed.
Yeah,
In
definitely.
my loungewear.
Yeah, no. So it's obviously a bit of a somber kind of week, I think, for all of us. A massively historical time in all our lives, across generations. But yeah, it just seems such an age ago since we were at Old Trafford and obviously talking and going over that game. And yeah, the game on Thursday, we knew what we were up against. It was damned if you do, damned if you don't. In that kind of game, it was they're the lower tier team, but you know any game probably isn't going to be easy. Certainly away from home. How did you think the Arsenal handled the game?
Well, scoreline suggests it was a tight game, but if you look at the reality of the match in its entirety, other than the penalty, Turner wasn't really busy, was he? So I think it was easier than the scoreline suggests. But when it is that close, it only takes one mistake to drop points there. But we got the job done, and I think again, as with all our matches this season, it's just that efficiency in front of goal that has got to be worked on.
Yeah, indeed, it's one of these things that it's plagued us, isn't it, for year upon year.
Yeah, so I mean, hi Colin, hi English Conversation Club, and Ashley D. How are you guys doing? Yeah, I mean, going back over what I've just said, really, it's more efficiency in front of a goal.
Hello, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's
Right,
right.
okay. It's all I've just lost connection on my camera, so I just had to reinstall it. So it's one of those where you just look at the game as it is, and we know year upon year we have struggled with this. Just being able to really kind of take our chances and be real clinical and get the job done without having to take maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chances on goal. We need to make sure everything is done. But we do need to be more clinical, and that is one of those things at the end of the day. But look, we know how to put it. It's one of those where we're still really early in the season, and we know we've got to give game time to new players coming in. I even played a different system today on Thursday as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
So 3 at the back, and it was good, useful experience just to get a bit of game time into those legs that have been a little bit lacking, certainly with the injuries and stuff. So I'll take 3 points. It should have been a lot more comfortable, I would say. If you look at the stats, just in general, 18 shots, but only 8 on target. Yeah, we did kind of allow Zurich to have a few chances in the game, but yeah, the possession says it all. Where we were kind of probably a little bit too much in control. I would say, where you weren't having to kind of go out of, say, second or third gear to
Yeah,
really make it interesting.
I think also you have to remember is that team, it hasn't really played together before. It's only trained together, so it's not going to be perfect here. There are going to be issues, but saying that, 2 well taken goals. There was at least another 2 clear cut chances. One with a Vieira lob and the one with a Martinelli glancing header. He should have got that on target. There were two obvious chances, and then they had other shots on target as well. So even though the scoreline was close, I don't think actually it was that close. In reality, we just had that little bit more class, didn't we? I think it's
Eventually we did, yeah, and we knew the goal would come at a crazy time as well, right before half time. It's a typical Arsenal kind of goal where we weren't really in any kind of trouble, and then just before half time, Nketiah gets the wrong side of their player, and a little bit of contact in the box. The guy makes a bit of meal of it and goes down. But it was a penalty. No one's going to question if it was a penalty or not. But 1-1 at half time is a big difference, and they got the crowd up a little bit, certainly going into the second half. But Vieira with a through ball for Nketiah to play for that first goal was brilliant. It was just nice just to see that little range of passing, being able to knock the ball out of his feet to then play a little pass into the channel for his pace. Nketiah, at the end of the day, that's kind of what he's living and breathing for. How did you think Nketiah handled the limelight?
Well, his stats show. I mean, what is it? 19 goals in 49 games or something, isn't it? So roughly one every 2 games. So nearly. So he's got that ability. It's just, I mean, just making sure that he keeps that level of performance up. Again, performance wasn't too bad. I maybe would have liked to see a couple more efforts. I mean, we spoke about the Martinelli header. Maybe he could have been a bit more selfish and actually taken that on himself. But maybe he got a shout from Martinelli. I don't know. But I thought his goal was well taken. Was it against Everton last year? Similar position, and he missed. This time he got it on target and it went in. So you can't one. I don't remember two more clear cut opportunities for him. Other than that, there were sort of half chances, and he took his one clear cut opportunity well. So it's all you can want. But if he's not getting those clear cut opportunities in front of goal, he's got to be putting the work in and making sure that he's making sure other players are brought into a game and doing the sort of work Jesus does when he's in.
No, totally agree there. Obviously, that run was then turned into a nice cross into the box for an onrushing Marquinos. Obviously, his first start for the Arsenal, which it's pleasing just to see players coming in for their debuts, and it always is that way, isn't it? For whether or not it's the first game of the season to whatever, whenever it happens. But for him to have come in and then actually capped it with a goal, and a finish how it actually was actually decent in its own right. I think that the whole move itself, it was fitting of another Arsenal goal when you were talking about it over years, where you suddenly say that was a decent goal, and you're suddenly thinking it was a nice move, and it was quick and sharp, straight to the other end, and then that was it. It was finished off with great confidence. I think certainly for a young boy, and And Christ, didn't he enjoy it?
Yeah,
That meant a lot to him.
you've got to think he's 19, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just come from Brazil. He's settling into a new club. It's his first senior start, and it's the thing his dreams are made of, isn't it? So I'm not surprised he got emotional. You've also, I mean, you look at that finish. The ball took a deflection on the way to him, so it came at him, bounced up on him, and he still finished it well with his weaker foot.
Yeah, yeah. And I say it weren't the easiest ball to finish. I've seen many go over the bar. Certainly with some of our finishes that we've had in previous years. But yeah, no, that was nice. And then yeah, that when the game was, well, I wouldn't say still in the balance at 1-1. I know we were kind of moving forward, and it was kind of a little bit end to end to a degree. I wouldn't have classed it as like a proper cutthroat end to end game where literally they're really putting us under pressure and going the other way. But it always said there was always that kind of unerring feeling where if we did lose the ball, what's going to happen? Have we got the players to react when in that transition when we lose the football to then go and win it back, or certainly get in positions where we stop them moving forward? But there were times where just throughout the game that we weren't really doing it well enough. And yeah, I'm sure Arteta obviously knows where those were. I think one was it really early in the game, wasn't it? Just with Gabriel. Gabriel
Yeah,
played a really bad back pass and straight to Turner, and
yeah.
Turner
I
to
think
try and dig it out. He stuttered and then then suddenly tried to play the pass and it got cut out. So little things like that where you just suddenly think, well, yeah, this is part of the learning process. But again, Gabriel's got to kind of take charge of that and just either get it clear or just get a good pass in at least. So, but yeah, Marquinos, I think as a whole, I think he's got the bulk in him. I think he's certainly got the physicality in him. And if we were comparing him to the other debutant, Fabio Vieira, and there were some good things. There were some things that you suddenly think, well, yeah, he probably needs to work on something and build up into the league, because yeah, I think the physicality side of things is his one that he does need to bulk up. And yeah, and that I think that's key. There were a couple of nice things from him, and yeah, he kept the game moving. What did
yeah,
you think about his debut?
yeah. I mean, you, he sort of reminds me a little bit more of Ozil than Odegaard does, because there was one in the United game that he put the ball over the top, and I think it was Varane cleared just with either Nketiah or Jesus coming in behind, and he's got that sort of passing on. But what I liked about him is that there was a ball in from, I think it was Lakonga for the lob. He missed it, but he was actually the forward player in that. So, and I've seen him in the Portuguese league, and a lot of his goals were with his weaker right foot. So he scores more with his right foot than the actual left foot. But he was neat, tidy. Yeah, he's got that. He is quite slim and slender, and there will be players who will just shrug him off. But he got quite a few. He got 2 interceptions. Dribbled well. He linked up play with Marquinos quite well, and we've got to remember that's his first full game, and he's had 15 minutes in the United game, so he's still going to needs a little bit of time to adjust to the team, the players in front of him, and again, it will change in a proper match day squad because he'll have better players. So the stuff that he's seeing in front of him will change and make him improve as well.
Yeah, I think what you found also with the change of the system, three at the back, the whole dynamic of the midfield does change a little bit. So obviously only being the two in the middle, um, whether or not I don't know. It's one of those. It was almost like a 3-4-3, but then it kind of changed to a four in the midfield to then say Martinelli and then Nketiah, sorry, gone out of my head, and it was nice just to see kind of just that kind of movement in how the team was shaped up, and it's one of those where you've got to understand where the positions are. Again, we saw Tierney kind of cutting in, kind of like Zinchenko, just kind of when we didn't have the football or when we had the football, just to make it a little bit more shored up. But yeah, overall, I don't really look at the result. I'm all I care about is the 3 points. It don't matter how we get it. These games are just kind of, I think, just get you through, get through it, and just do the job. It's not
Yeah,
about quality. Get the 3 points and whatever. But it's yeah, it doesn't look hugely convincing on paper because yeah, obviously the result itself. But as I
but
say,
but
we
in the
know
other
from
hand,
the game.
yeah, on the other hand, with PSV and Bodo Glimt take getting a draw, that makes our 3 points even more valuable
Well, yeah,
because
you get a win in the home game against PSV, and then go to Bodo and get a result. Then that's done and dusted.
yeah,
Even with the draw, say in one of those games, you're going through, and then you can look at maybe say those last three games as something where you can kind of put in an experimental sides and just and get through, and then you can start focusing again on the league and getting that kind of proper kind of like basis on those performances. But yeah, I think more than anything, obviously it wasn't a huge distance to travel, and I think it was really good just to get those kind of minutes into those players that are just kind of on that kind of like edge of the team. And when we do need them, they're going to be a lot more match fit and match ready uh, going forward.
yeah. And what I'm expecting is that if we, I'd like 12 points from the first four games. So you've got PSV, then two against Bodo Glimt. Get
Yeah,
12 points from there, and then that in that Zurich game, the last game, I think Zurich's the last game. Uh, then I'd like to see the likes of the uh, Kozia Dubry in there and Matt Smith and Kurjan. Give those players a taste because we should have already qualified first by then.
yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely. It's just get the job done, get it done as early as you can. Then we focus on the rest of it. Um, yeah, just gonna stop in, just gonna pop into the live chat. It's getting a bit lively in there. Some regulars.
Yeah,
Well, the Bray, how's it going? English Conversation Club. I am doing fine. I'm gutted there was no game today, but I don't care. Yeah, we're going to why shortly, but we all know that. But we'll yeah. But no, look, I would be much rather talking about a 3-0 Arsenal win today. Yeah, in all honesty. But yeah, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for that one. So yeah, I'm doing well. Family's good. I'm healthy. Everyone else is healthy, and everyone else is fine by the sounds of it. And she's in the house. Evening, Ashley, Colin, fellow moderators, and Cannon Fodder crew. So, question: does Arteta have the players to win the Europa League? Richard, what do you reckon?
Simple answer is yes. We've got the players. What happens is, who do we face in the knockout stages? What what clubs are coming down from the Champions League to face the second place teams? That's where it gets interesting. And I think if you get to a final, that's good. But of course, if you get to a final, you want to win it. But I'd like to see us get to semi final, to semi final final stages. If we can do that, and then you're getting knocked out by. I mean, Liverpool could uh, drop down into it there. Inter could drop down into there because the way the results. So we're quite strong teams that could drop out and come down. So we have the squad to do it, but you need a little bit of luck, and you need to be playing well. So let's get the group stages, because if we finish first in the group stages, we go straight into round 16, and we don't have to worry about playing an extra knockout game. So let's do that first, and then see who we get. But yeah, I think squad's strong enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, we do need a bit of luck, like every team. Certainly in the cup competitions, you don't know who's always going to come down. Um, but I still think with what we've got, and if we obviously have everyone ticking over, I wouldn't class us as having a really really thin squad when we've got, say, everyone back. And to be honest, all we are waiting on is Partey and El Neni now. And I look at it as a decent sized squad. So there's more to come from the group. Certainly, as you go on through the season, and the more they play together, the better they'll become. So yeah, no, I definitely think they've got the players there to go far. Um, Look, we've seen that these group can put in performances. Just got to now go and show it. So yeah, conversation club. Good question. The games without party, I like watching paint dry, and will be until we get another box to box midfielder. Shameful transfer window.
Was
Is
it
it really box to
really a
box?
shameful? Yeah,
Is
I
it really
don't think
box to box?
it was a shameful transfer window, but I get what he's saying, because once Party and El Neni you knew El Neni was injured. Edu should have gone and got that, gone and made sure. But do you overpay? Again, that's the question. Do you overpay for a
It's a
player
long
that you weren't
conversation,
originally
Richard.
going for?
And we've kind of said we've spoke about it before. But you suddenly say, well, you've been given maybe say 72 hours once you have the prognosis of what or the extent of what the injuries were. Certainly for Partey's case, and then El Neni then gets injured, and you're suddenly thinking, well, if Partey's only a couple of weeks away, when that was originally happened, and then when El Neni played, and then yeah, obviously that was Wednesday night. By the time we then got, say, like the prognosis of what's happened to him, the next day we're in the deadline day. So you can only try your targets, and you only tell by the reports what went in there. We were active on a few fronts, and unfortunately, if these teams don't want to sell, they don't want to sell. And I don't think we were in a position at this minute to start really throwing money around. Just with what we've done recently, already been talked about with financial fair play. So I don't think we can go in and start flaunting it around even more. Yeah, we have values of players, but we don't want to get caught into clubs just wanting to cream us for what we really, really need. But it's one of those. The squad has taken a massive change, and it's one of those where we brought in one now, and don't forget Odegaard coming in as well was another midfielder. At the end of the day, we do need to get a player coming in, and I'm sure one of those players that we were linked with in this last window will find his way to Arsenal in January, or if not, for free in the summer. But if it's a question of have we got enough, then I would say yes. And if obviously injuries do suddenly come upon us, we've got to review it again, haven't we? We've got to look at it and we've got to say, well, okay, well, times do change, and suddenly say we could go into the World Cup, and then all of a sudden, say a Saka or someone like that gets injured, and you suddenly, hang on a minute, we do need to now go and get someone.
Yeah, you could end up with 4 or 5 players injured or out of form or needing a break. So,
you can't be spending 30, 35, 40 million pounds on what if players. Well, what if a player gets injured?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those where it's just the squad's got to be developed gradually, and that's I think we've done it quite well. We've had to do a lot of outs to get it to where it is, and it's only now.
I think they made a mistake in the last January window because there was the opportunity there to strengthen the squad and get us that Champions League spot. But other than that, what they've done over the two summer windows has been really good. And this summer, you've got to say, we got all our main targets in time to have some sort of pre-season. It would have been nice to get another one in, and they were trying on a winger, but when now Nenny got injured, that changed to try and put some cover into the middle, but it didn't work out. So I'd have said it's sort of a 7 out of 10 because it didn't end well, but if you'd said at the start of the season you're getting Jesus, Zinchenko, Vieira, and Marquinos in for the future, you'd have been pretty happy with that. You had Turner come in, which we'd already paid for, so you were looking at that and thinking, yeah, that's not shabby. We've all got players we would love to see. Yeah, we'd all love to have seen another forward in that, and an upgrade on Xhaka, but because whatever you think of the guy, he hasn't played badly this season, but you still know there are better players out there in that position, and I wouldn't mind having him sitting on the bench to come off to see a game out.
Yeah, funny you mentioned with Xhaka. Well, it's not funny. It's a serious debate there, because I think actually he had another really decent game. I think it was full of life, full of running, and the link up play between him, Martinelli, and Tierney, just on that little left hand channel, was quite nice. And yeah, it's nice to see him playing further forward and getting involved. And I think he's getting some real kind of confidence, which you haven't really seen from him. And yeah, he was given captain's armband. Again, it's a much debated topic whether or not he should have it or not. Look, he's putting in the performances and he's wearing the heart, his heart on his sleeve. So, at the end of the day, if the manager's picking him and he's still doing putting in performances and at least pulling players around and actually talking to them, and showing the leadership, then he's got to have it. So, look, I think we're there at this minute, and we know we've got targets, but we've got to see through this couple of month period now into the World Cup, and then we evaluate again and see where we are, because I don't think we're going to be as far behind as what we were this time last year.
No, I think we're a lot closer. It's just making sure that if we're in that position, we go and do something to make sure we solidify it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's I think that's at the end of the day part of having the squad as well. Just at that time where everyone's saying we bottled it. Just at that time with injuries that just killed us. Then obviously 14 players, you couldn't really change a lot. With what we've got now, it's going to take an unbelievably unlucky run of injuries to get us in that kind of position again. But the pleasing thing of that window was that we have literally got rid of the last kind of, apart from Maitland-Niles, the last kind of like lingering kind of players that have been around for year upon year, taking up the numbers. And for that change around to have happened, it's taken three or so years. So yeah, it's one of those where it's we've done wonders with the squad, and yeah, we've just got to now improve on it and add more to the new breed of what we brought in to play the style that Arteta wants. So Ashley D, well, I was not impressed considering the level we played against. Anyone better would have beaten us. Yeah, it's a fair comment. It wasn't a massively impressive performance. I think more the fact that we controlled the game, but we didn't really offer a huge amount. Yeah, we created chances, but we didn't really look properly at it. And I would probably put that at the level of why we were only at like gear 1 or 2 or 3. I don't think we ever had to really kind of get in and really get going or get ourselves up for the game. And that's a big part of it as well. But we got 3 points. Consolation Club. I get the feeling he has Marquinos, Saka, and Vieira, but does not know how to use them yet. I think he knows how to use Saka. I think it's just now Saka's got to understand his game and how he can improve him. Because too many times he wants to come on the inside where he does need to find a knack of getting on the outside and going past players. Marquinos, look, he's only had him a few months. So you look at it like that, he's got to learn and understand, and it can only happen from playing in, say, under 21s or getting game time where his best positions are, and if he's ready for it. And same with Vieira. Vieira can play in multiple positions, but again, what part of the squad he can come in or what part of the pitch he can improve on. So, yeah, it's all a work in progress, isn't it? It's one of those. And until the players play together and build the relationships, you don't know how good they're going to be and how to really utilise them. Richard, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he knows Saka again. Saka's got to find that form again. And every player has that period of where form is. With Marquinhos, he's young. He's just new to the team, and the same with Vieira. They've got to learn their positions, learn about the culture, the language, the teammates, and it will come. I mean, what I liked about Marquinhos particularly was he did go down the outside, and then he would cut inside. But the one thing he did, if he cut back onto that left foot, was he produced a decent cross, and he produced, and there was an end product. Okay, we didn't finish it a couple of times, but there were chances there created, and it puts that uncertainty, and it showed that you don't have to be your player to create a chance. If you've got the quality to put in the box, you will make chances that way. I think give it time. Give each players time. Come sort of January, February, they should be up to speed and ready for Premier League games, because they will have adapted to the English. They will have adapted to their teammates, and they should be that ready to start impressing in the Premier League. I mean, Marquinhos looks like he's built for the Premier League. He's big, he's quick, and he looks as if he's got a bit of football intelligence about himself. So, which is not something we bemoaned with certain sort of players we've had in the past, but they've looked good, but they've lacked that football intelligence sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's hard. I think when you do have players that come in and you suddenly you are trying to get you're going to have your reports, you're going to have your scout reports, and your kind of analysts that will tell you how a certain player plays and his traits, how he likes to play, and you'll have all the stats on him. But until he actually puts the shirt on and plays with the group and gets involved in a system that you want to play, I don't think you can really 100% get an eye down on what he's actually going to do and where. But yeah, I think that there's a lot more to come, and I say I don't have any concern about. We wouldn't even class it as mediocre performances. It's a game that we've gone away and we've won. Yeah, the score isn't. Everyone's expecting a hide in and stuff like that, and so Europe isn't always like that. You know what I mean? I think I remember the time when we went and played. We're going to Red Star Belgrade, I think, and it was one of those where, yeah, all right, we know it's a hostile place, but everyone was like, oh yeah, we should be absolutely smashing these, and I think they come away and I think they beat us. I think or we drew 1-1 or
yeah. I mean, there's plenty. There's plenty of hostile grounds out there. I mean, I was pretty impressed that it wasn't their home. It wasn't. They haven't got a home stadium technically, but they leased the one in the Zurich out. So, but given that, they were quite vocal. I mean, but it's a good learning curve for these players. You want them. I remember going to places like Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, and they were real cauldrons, and you real intimidating grounds to go to. But they help build players' character up.
No, well, that's it. You go to this place, and that's it. Then the only way you can actually get used to it is by playing in it. And yeah, it's a big thing. But yeah, we know that, and yeah, I'm sure we'll carry it on. But yeah, there's lots of positivity about our final position in the group here. Fifth or sixth place finish. Yeah, I don't know. It's still a long season, we know.
Yeah.
If we can play the way we can play, I'm sure we'll be involved in a lot more tighter matches against those bigger teams.
I mean, I'm going off last season. We threw it away. Spurs didn't do fantastic and overhaul us. We threw it away in certain games by by lack of experience, lack of players, and we started 9 points up behind them and finished 2 points behind them.
Yeah, that's it.
Chelsea
I
had
don't think you could say we lost it at the end.
Yeah.
Obviously we did.
Yeah, Chelsea
But
had 7 points, didn't they? At start,
yeah,
and we finished 5 behind them. This time round, we haven't given them that start. Yes, they're going to improve, but we've improved as well. They've improved their squad, we've improved our squad. So it will be down to, and you've got to think, Chelsea have just got rid of Tuchel. Potter's come in. He's got an extra week working with that squad now because of the death of the Queen. So he's got an extra week working on the training, but he's still got to get those ideas across and implement them in the game. Liverpool midfield, they've lost a load of midfielders. They've been poor. They've got points they shouldn't have got this season. So I think that top four is going to be an interesting competition. I don't see anyone other than City winning with that, but I think second, third, and fourth are up for grabs for any of the rest of us. And if you're being honest, you want to be the best of the rest. So, and
well,
that's where I'd like
we
to
know
see
we
us.
got there's four places that everyone's vying for, but then there's 7 teams. So you'd look at it and you just think it's going to be massively tough. And yeah, we can look at say we could have strengthened in January and really cemented the top 4, but one player or potentially 2 players might not have really changed the whole kind of way we were. Left maybe say 16 players, we still would have had a very short squad at the end of the day. But let's say the thing that cost us was the start at the start of the season and that little kind of 3-game period where we lost against Brighton and had that and those games there, the Palace game,
Yeah.
and
Or
they
the
were the ones,
The
and
Burnley
it
home
weren't
game
the
we
Tottenham
drew.
and the it wasn't the Tottenham and the Newcastle one because again everyone was so dead on their feet, and there was no change. There was no change for the last like 4-5 games. I think it was because obviously we're just so like devout players. It was just one of those, but it's a new season, and I'm more optimistic than I was last season. And if we do show what we can do, then and if everyone the way they are getting behind the team this season carries on doing it, then you're going to be in for a good ride as players and as a club. But we have to get behind the whole team, the whole club, and unite together. Colin is very down. I think can anyone give Colin a hug? Just to kind of lighten his mood.
I get where he's coming from because we've been let down before, haven't we? I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a long time since you can say I have a confidence in this team to actually produce what I'm hoping for. But this season, I feel that they can produce enough to get us a cup, get us the best of the rest, and be closer to City, which is what you're hoping for. You, I'm hoping to be 9 to 12 points behind City this season. I don't think you can beat City because they won the league last season without Haaland, and they've gone and got Haaland and Alvarez as number 9s. They didn't have a number 9s last season. They went and got 2 this season. So, and everyone said, "Oh, Haaland will struggle," but he's had 2 hat tricks. He's scoring for fun. He, he he was bought in for the Champions League, but he's doing it in the Premier League. So I don't see past City this season. but I think we can get sort of second and third. I think we can be in that that sort of equation. Yeah, we're going to need a little bit of luck with injuries uh, and maybe we might have to go out in January and strengthen. But I think we've got the quality, and I know people say about squad depth, but if you look at the players we've got players that can a lot of players that can play 3 or 4 positions. So we have the depth, maybe just not the numbers.
Yeah, well, as I say, it's when we're talking about and we're getting nervous about one or two players being out, and we're suddenly thinking, well, hang on a minute, the player can actually come in and do a job. So it isn't all doom and gloom. And as I say, if it's for the sake of a couple of weeks or whatever like that, then I don't think the club should overspend or do whatever to bring in. But yeah, that's it. But um, so I'm just reading Colin's. I'll get to that soon. um, yeah, Tired has put a nice one in. Guys, do you think we'll be in the Champions League next season via the league or Europa Cup? Yeah, I still think our best chance will be Europa League. If certainly if we steer clear or are guided on a good run to the latter stages. Yeah, there's a good path. It's normally by Man United. Man United normally get a really nice path to to those uh, to those competitions. So I'm hoping that we get a nice kind of little run there. And like I say, it's guided by performances. And if we make that competition our own, then yeah, we've been there before. We just got to go to one stage further and actually go and win it and get the silverware that we've been craving for a long time. We want a European honour, and that will be a real good challenge for the squad. Yeah, the league, like I say, we know it's going to be tough. 38 games, and look, it will be tough. It will be hard. But if we keep level headed and we keep going, then look, I don't think we're going to go through those kind of troughs that we had last season. I really don't. As a group, I think as a collective, I think there's more of a better mentality. So, yeah, after that Man United, I bet the players just wanted to get out there again and just and go and get another Premier League game. And yeah, obviously today being that game in a full Emirates would have been a really nice one. But yeah, it's a good question, Tired. But yeah, I'm confident either way. I put it that way. I don't think we're going to have real
Yeah,
doom and
I
gloom.
agree. I don't think is. I'm pretty confident we'll get uh, Champions League this season.
But going back to your City thing about the getting like more points closer to Man City.
Yeah,
I don't
and
even
not.
think it's. I don't even think that's what we look at, and we do look at where we are. We know we're not City level yet. We know on a one-off game there is potential there, but we're not there yet. So I still say that is our challenge is to get closer to that third place or that fourth and third place. Yeah, we were 2 points off the fourth, and Chelsea. We had them shaking to a certain degree towards the end. Certainly when we beat them at Stamford Bridge, but we were that kind of little bit too far away from them to kind of really affect it. So yeah, that's what we need to aim for. And as I say, if one of those teams wants to slip up like Liverpool and drop points, then yeah, we've seen it with the season that Leicester won the league. That teams will be able to step up, and if no one else wants to step up, we'll be there to try and put the pressure on to get into those spots. Um, so it's all about our playing style and having our players available to get the job done. And I say I think we're going to be a lot more reliable to bet on. I would say as better, because some of those results you couldn't predict for us last year. There were right shockers, some of them. So yeah, I think that just comes down to the squad depth and the balance as well. So I think that sums up that question pretty nicely. Yeah, the squad is way off being in the Champions League, much less winning. The squad is way off being in the Champions League, much less than winning Europa League. Is that so? What, top four? I think that's where he's aiming for, isn't he? I think we're saying that you're likely to win the Europa League. Then
I'm struggling there. I mean, forgetting the teams that are in the Champions League at the moment that could possibly drop down. Is our squad better than Roma's, and is our squad better than United's? I don't think United's squad is that much better than ours. They've got a few decent players in there, but they're still not quite a team yet, and he's still got quite a lot of work there. I think we're easily better squad than Roma's. So, and I don't see any other team in there that we should be worried about, other than Roma and United and whoever drops down from the Champions League. And as I said, I mean, there are some real horrible leagues, groups in that Champions League. Bayern, Barca, and Inter. One of them dropping into that could be real nasty. But at the end of the day, you've got to beat whoever's in front of you, and it's all about two legs in the and doing the job in the home leg and making sure you don't capitulate in the away leg. But yeah, I think we've got decent enough ones there.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I think definitely got a good chance to get there. As I say, January comes as well, and it's another story. Chuck maybe another one or two players into that mix as well. And as I say, we're talking about increasing our squad depth to up to 25, and we go from what we had in our squad to what we've got now. Yeah, it's massive. It can't be all done in one go, but as I say, we've done the initial kind of groundwork. We've got rid of the stuff we don't need. It's looking nice now, and we just got to finish off the last little bits to it to kind of get it to that level what we need it to be, and that's where that squad depth will come from. And that kind of leads on to Ty's question there. I think we've got a decent first team, just the cover not quite there. What are your thoughts? Yeah, exactly what I said there. Yeah, it's great. We're adding to it, but as I say, there's just a few more that need to come in. Certainly, if we're talking about getting into Champions League and challenging for Champions League, then that kind of squad does need to be upped by another 3, 4, 5 players, and then that will create a huge amount of competition. And this is what it's all about now. And every player that comes in is going to be at a very good level. And we have not said that for a long time. Look at the Invincible team. Even then, that was just one team that was really good as as the first team. But any injuries on that point, then the team would have been struggling. And that's been noted as well with some of the players saying that as well. It's like you had a great kind of first 11, but as soon as you went into the depths of that squad, exactly what we've kind of had before with just not enough experience. But now we've got what we've got now. I'm certainly a lot more happy and a lot more pleased.
Yeah, I think we've got a good 18 now, aren't we? I think we're still 4, 5 players maybe to bring that up to a decent 22, and then just have a cut. Then you've got your kids coming through and bits and pieces to add to that. But get the Champions League this year, qualify for it. you can go out and you can attract that better quality of player. You want a decent upgrade on Xhaka. You want somebody to come in and take over the party role. You want somebody to come from Suarez, and then you need somebody in that forward line, maybe somebody who can play across all three, or an alternative to Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's as I say, it's just what it is. You just have to look at where we were, and yeah, Collins just put a nice one up at the top of the screen. The next few games, could you fellas really look at our bench and then contemplate where we are for a true squad strength? I have got the lineup what we had here, and if we take off this comment, hold on a minute. And yeah, we do look at what we had here coming in, and we look at, say, like these guys here, and you're taking a Vieira, you're taking a Marquinos, you're taking Nketiah, Sambi into that subs bench.
And Turner as well, wouldn't you?
Certainly goes as well.
And Turner. So I mean,
if I'm thinking and I'm looking at that team, and then when I've got those fit players, and I'm talking, all right, we're gonna be missing Smith Rowe for a little bit. You can't tell me that the subs bench that we will have this season, certainly this coming next game, whenever we play it, is any worse than what we had, say, the last 2-3 seasons. And certainly you would actually ask whether or not they were more able as players and as a squad to actually play for the Arsenal. I look at it like that, and I think there is depth there. There isn't almost full 100% squad depth, but certainly in quite a few positions there is competition.
Yeah,
there is right for the place. But yeah, we do need to add those last couple of other positions, but it can't always be done in one go. As I say, it was a reaction to an injury, like literally a day. Well, yeah, just over 24 hours. Was it? When did El Nini get injured again in the Villa game?
It was.
Or was it?
It was the game before?
Or was it? Yeah.
Uh,
So yes, but it's one of those where you get the diagnosis of that, and you've probably
yeah.
only got, say, maybe 72 hours to really kind of assess what time frame it was. To, okay, these are our targets. We want this player, and it's like, yeah, if they then turn around and say, oh no, I don't want to sell, then we're like, oh, okay. So we then go to the next one. It's like, yeah, can we buy a player? No. Okay. Or yeah, we want 60 million for him. And it's like, well, he's only got a year left on his contract, or 9 months left of his contract. No, we want 60 million. Let's haggle. All right, 65. And it's these little things where it just kind of it carries on and carries on. And I don't want Arsenal to be in that position, and we can't be. We know that financial fair play could potentially bite us. Certainly, if things go the other way, and revenues don't go on, and we don't start turning it around, certainly commercially, and yeah, we could be in a spot above her. Yeah, if we're on a watch list. Apparently, are we in that real position to really kind of go overspending? Yeah, I don't think so. But you can, I'm 100% certain that squad, and also those benches, are a lot better than what we've had in the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That's the short version.
Yeah, I think I'd probably want a left centre back something for party, something for upgrade on Xhaka, and something along that forward line is what I'd like to see in it next summer, and somebody for swap and something maybe somebody in for Suarez.
Yeah, no. Well, as I say, this is another one. Tired. What is Arteta's plan B for games? I honestly think he's not gonna. I don't think he's going to bring in a bulky number 9. He's not going to bring in Haaland. That was tipped. Agent Odegaard failed on that mission. So yeah, you have to look at certain targets probably into the next season. You're suddenly thinking, well, yeah, I don't know who'll be around, who'll want to come. It all depends on where we get to. Champions League will open up more paths, but look, we kind of deal with it the way we do best. And yeah, if something ain't working, then yeah, we'll look to swap out, and and we've done it this season with Nketiah, where he has come on, and he's come on his stretch teams, and for a team certainly playing a low block, is actually quite good. He can actually work quite well. So he's always a danger. Yeah, it's not going to be the marquee signing that everyone craves, but there ain't going to be a plan B marquee signing. I don't imagine any marquee signing wanting to play second fiddle and be sitting on the bench. Um, we had one in Giroud, didn't we? Before we started kind of going off our kind of style of play, which suited him. But yeah, it's one of those. It's awkward, but I know, like I know about. Yeah, we do need to get that CDM sorted, and then an additional striker. But yeah, that additional striker, I don't think he's going to be someone that's going to be a proper name or costing millions upon millions of pounds. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see it happening. So yeah, any thoughts to that, Rich?
Well, I mean, I think we've seen at the moment Arteta's plan B is that 3-1-4-2, and Nketiah and Jesus up front, and going like that. I think that is his plan B at the moment, because that's all he's got. Possibly a Gakpo, somebody who can move from wide into centre, who's got a bit of height, and give you that aerial presence. But I don't think we'll go for an out and out forward. I wouldn't mind seeing Tony come in, because he is a completely different option. He holds the ball up. He'll link the play well, but at set pieces he's going to be a terror. And you get a ball into a box, he's going to cause panic. So that's my opinion. Somebody like that, even a Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, you look at all these players and you suddenly think, well, will a player, and I know the easy answer would be, yeah, if the money's right, would a player go from being, say, number 1 striker at their club and doing really well to just literally being or knowing that he isn't going to be first choice, he isn't going to be potentially second choice, or whatever? I'm pretty certain Nketiah has been given that kind of, this is a chance to prove yourself this year, as yeah, you could be my number 2 striker. If it doesn't go well in this year or say next year, I think it's a 5-year contract he signed, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5 years.
Then he's got 3 years on his contract. If he hasn't worked out, we know then that period, and he's been given that game time, he's been given that chance to shine, then we've got market value on him. We can then look to sell, and then that's when that big name striker will come in, and that'll be
it's the same with Balogun, isn't it?
First proof of the pudding of our new kind of structure, and how we're doing business with getting value from the squad. Because yeah, obviously too long we've not been getting the fees for players, which is obviously well documented. But look, I think that's what it is. I think he's been given the word, go and do it, go and show me what you can do. If he does it, then yeah, you're great. Yeah, we don't need to worry too much. But if it doesn't, then okay, maybe it's not working. Maybe we do have to get someone else, and then that would be communicated to Nketiah to say, well, yeah, we've given you this chance. Maybe this season, maybe it's then that decision in the summer where you're suddenly thinking, yeah, we've given you that chance. We're now in the Champions League. You haven't really hit the ground. You haven't scored, say, 10, 15 goals or whatever. We're gonna have to get someone else in, and then that's that conversation to be had. If Nketiah doesn't like it, then the club has got that ability to then suddenly say, well, if someone comes in for him, then we can sell him. If not, then yeah, he's going to know and understand where the ground is for him as a player. But there's no free lunch at the end of the day. Thanks, Colin. Hey, I have an idea. Beat the heck out of that like button. Send a super chat and buy some merch and then become a member. He's on the payroll. So what's your thought on second choice goalie, Matt? I'm scared if Ramsdale is injured. It's still, the jury's still out. I don't think you've seen enough of him to really kind of warrant being real scared. I think he is able as a goalkeeper, but yeah, I think it's a lot to do with the change in in scenery for him. It's obviously being over in Europe, different league. The confidence side of things is massive as a goalie, but also when you do get those chances, just like on Thursday, how you deal with the pressure and what's in front of you. Also, you don't want one of your defenders to play you a really bad back pass and all these little things that kind of put you on edge. But I've seen the way he plays the ball out. I think it's quite nice. Apart from that kind of little blip early on, but yeah, I'm sure over time it will be a decent understudy. But yeah, you're never going to get another like number one keeper as backup. So we've had some shockers as backup keepers as well. So if you put it another way, I don't think Matt Turner's any worse than some of the goalkeepers we've had as backups in previous years. I think that might be an easy answer to that one. Richard, agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I had watched a lot of MLS because the wife's ex-partner's brother lives down the States, and we all talk. He's a big. He likes when he comes over, he buys a box. He rents out a box at United and that. But so he talks a lot about MLS. So I watched to be able to converse with him on it, and I've seen him. He's a decent stop shotter. He wasn't that great with his feet, but he's improved that. But his distribution with his from hand is absolutely brilliant. So it and I think it's just going to be that settling in period, that adjusting to the people in front of him, and you've got to remember he's also had his wife partner's just had a baby as well, hasn't she? So it's a lot of things to try and get your head round in a few months whilst trying to play a game, and he's not getting many minutes, so he's not able to build that confidence up. It's a stop-start thing for him, but he'll get there. I think. I wouldn't be too unhappy one-on-ones and shots, but we'll just see how he does with his feet in next games.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so Colin, I'm gonna kind of go back on schedule after this. Yeah, when we were 4 wins of the first 4 games, comment was made that Arteta hadn't had to overthink things during the game yet. Man U showed that lesson has still not been learned. I think that game in itself had a couple of different like parts to it. I think I thought we controlled the game well, but also we had that kind of underlying factor of that there were players playing that were not, I would say, I'd even go to clearly not really match fit playing. Hence why I think they did make that sub in that around that 70-minute mark. And everyone was saying, "Oh, he's made these 3 subs like all at once. It's all happened." But when you look at it, 2 of those were done from those injured players, and I look at it like that, and I think, well, yeah, I probably am thinking that is, or certainly down to the fitness things on those players, because yeah, they were looking a little leggy, as was it Lukonga? It was Lukonga that went off as well, wasn't it? Yeah, and he was looking a little leggy, and that was at a time where we were kind of losing a little kind of traction in the middle of the game. But look, the game was disappointing at Old Trafford, and yeah, it's never great to come away with 3-1. But Christ, we've had a lot worse games at Old Trafford where we've come away with a proper tonking, and we've not deserved anything. And I think there's always that kind of feeling where we've done well. We've done well, but on another day, had we have taken those chances, then we'd have come away with those 3 points. And had that that goal been given rather than disallowed by VAR, then who knows what game we would have been talking about. But look, it's overthinking, whatever, being reactive to kind of data that's given to him by physios. Look, you've got to take it, really. You can either take that advice or you don't take the advice, play him, and then what happens then if one of those players then goes down and gets injured again by being played too long? And you suddenly think that's another conversation to have. Oh, Arteta has mismanaged them or whatever. So yeah, I don't think it's one game out of the 6, and you're suddenly thinking I don't think it's as bad as that. It's one of those. It's a decision. It's been probably taken out of his hands, and he's had to deal with it. Richard, this one is all yours. Do you think football fixtures should have gone ahead this week?
I do. I was on another one below the Cannon Mo Hadder, and he was talking about how it shouldn't be, how it should have gone ahead because all these fans who pay money to, and they're talking about class. And I said to him, look, I agree they should have gone ahead. I said, but I don't agree with why you're saying it. I said, my thing is that we've already got a season that is congested. You've got 2 possible more postponements because it could be next weekend's fixtures are postponed as well. We don't know that yet. And that's 2 more games you've got to fit in this in a congested fixture list. Now, players' welfare. Players are going to get injured. And is it fair on them? Would it have been easier just to have a minute's silence, wear a black armband, and do something like that? Still paying respect. A lot of other sports still went ahead, and you have to question who does it really benefit? Are there teams that are going to benefit more from this break than is it just something else going on rather than just being respectful to the Queen? Given that Liverpool's ex-chief is now head chief of the FA, not hard to, and that maybe all their players, if you have two weeks off, suddenly all those midfielders that they were missing come back. I don't know, but on the personal point of view, I think it would have been nice to play this weekend, have that minute silence, wear a black armband, because the majority of the crowds, apart from the one or two idiots, would have been respectful. And you're always going to get idiots in any stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a fantastic woman, wasn't she? But it's
you can take it, can't you? You
yeah,
look at it and you realize when it is shown from when she took over and the long time she's been there, and obviously generation upon generation have not known any different from this happening, and it does align everyone, I think, in the country. There's ones that are adverse to the Queen, and some that just.
You see, I'm not a royalist, but
No, me
I
either.
respect what she did for the country, and I respect her history and what and that. But and that's the thing, isn't it? You might not agree with a monarchy or royalty, but you still have that respect for what they actually do.
Yeah. No, I'd say my take on it is that I agreed with the fact that games would have been called off. I didn't think that it would happen again. Obviously, we knew that there's a state funeral, but there was talk that the funeral was going to be on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So it kind of, it's now made it into a bank holiday. So I'm guessing now. Yeah, I look at it and I just think, well, yeah, I think it is respectful to just kind of almost allow people to be at one with families, because again, this is quite an emotional time for families as well, and certainly with children, and being able to take in the moment, because it is historical. You know what I mean? This is the first time it's happened in our generation.
Yeah.
But she's done
I've
fantastic.
got no one in my family that has seen anything other than Queen Elizabeth now.
Yeah, exactly. So it is a big thing, and you look at it and you think, well, yeah, it's not always the best, but we know football's going to carry on afterwards. We know it's going on. Yeah, we had stuff planned for for today and whatever, but in the reality of things, this lady put on her whole life for the country, and she done it to her final breaths, and she carried on with her duties, and that is an absolute tribute to this lady, the same lady that was going to open the Emirates Stadium in 2006, but failed with a bad back. So she decided to invite our squad in 2007 to afternoon tea with at Buckingham Palace, wasn't it? So the only football club to have gone and had tea with the Queen was the Arsenal, and to hear some of the stories on that day was quite funny, where like, players are reminiscing, and you had Thierry Henry speaking about Manuel Boué, and just some of the things in there. If you haven't read any of them, just try and have a Google on them. But some of them are really funny. Certainly, a Boué was really good. He wanted to kind of give up football and become a dog carer once he saw the corgis. I think that was along the lines, and it was like, really, really funny. So, no, Your Majesty, thank you for your service, and up there in the sky, you've got another group to look after, and keep it going up there. But first, get some rest. But Queen Elizabeth, she was a legend, and I think Charles has got big shoes to fill. But she was a gooner, allegedly.
Allegedly, but
allegedly
doesn't matter, does it?
No, but it was just nice to see just how like nice she was, certainly with the squad. And yeah, the pictures don't grow old. You see, like Thierry Henry along showing them all, like a young Cesc Fabregas. You've got Arsene Wenger, then they're presenting her up with a little cannon and stuff. It was just really nice to have done and had those pictures to kind of look back on. But yeah, really, really nice. But yeah, it's sad times. And yeah, I look at it and I think that is now fitting this weekend over. This coming week should be about the celebration of her. And this is what I talk about then the going to grounds, singing the national anthem, singing the song, and just the black armbands carry it on. You've then got the funeral on the Monday, but I also get that there are massive logistical issues for the police and stuff, and I've had it on good ground, and that I don't think the game is going to go ahead on Thursday.
Right.
One, there will be a large Dutch contingency coming over to the country, and whether or not the policing is going to be able to cope with that, with already huge demand in the capital as it is, with people coming in. So what happens with the game, I don't know. I've heard rumours, apparently, potentially it could go well. It's a logistical nightmare, but it could be closed doors. It could be neutral outside London. That's one thing that's been kind of tipped. I don't believe that in the slightest, but on good ground, I believe it's going to get cancelled or done just because of the policing side of things, and that will also affect obviously the weekend. So yeah, so that's what I see. I don't know. I think this next game isn't going to go out, but yeah, but look, that is the Queen, I think, and we're on an hour and 22 minutes. There's been so many comments in the chat. I think it's been a great discussion, and look, we are going to have differing opinions as always. This is all part of being Arsenal fans and fans in general of any club. There's always going to be differences in opinion, but I don't think they're too dissimilar. I think we all want the same outcome. It just means that we've got different perspectives on when it should happen. But we know where we want to go, and we know we want to get to the top. And it is going to happen. We just have to just bide the time and allow it to come and be lucky. But we're here, we're breathing, we're alive, and we're seeing this in live. So I appreciate Richard for coming on tonight. I would like to see some of the other folk in the chat room coming on. Come say, Colin, come and join us for a Sunday show.
And English Conversation Club, Tired Gunnosaurus, be cool to see them.
Drop us a DM and we'll get it organised. But it's been some good conversation, some good points, some good questions. Sadly, I can't get to all of them. Otherwise, I'll be here. We'd be on call throughout the morning. I'd have to grab another cup of coffee. So,
and I'd have to have another Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, get the sugars going. But guys, it's been great, and girls, Ange, really good to see you all in the chat, and look forward to more shows and hopefully an Arsenal discussion next week. Let's hope Thursday goes on. I do want to get a bit of football going on, and the Bedlam it will be with two arranged fixtures, which probably will be in the European one won't be in January, but certainly the Everton game, and if Brentford gets called off, they will be in January. So it'll be interesting just to see. So but guys, take care, and we'll see you again soon. But I'm Paul in the NorthBank, and you've just been watching the big Sunday show. See you later. Kind of Gooners.
Bye.